Hey, what's going on, everyone? Seth Miranda here for Adorama TV, and I have got a ton of Pelican here for you today. And when I say Pelican, your mind already starts thinking, right? They've been in this industry for half a century. The word Pelican became a noun for like case, for protection. Hey, what am I gonna do? I'll just take a Pelican. That's kind of what's been going on. And with all that legacy, they've decided to venture into a new frontier, because this is their travel line, and there is a lot going on, and that's TRVL if you want to take a look for it. And just know, while I go through all this stuff, the links are down below for all the full specifications. I'm talking about the measurements and anything else you might want to know, like real in-depth stuff. But let me try to make sense of all this for you and break down what's going on here, because it is a lot, and it's kind of what you'd expect when you launch an entire lineup. When you think about the travel line, you're going to think about that as an umbrella, and then there's two lines within that. There's the ATX and there's the Aegis, and there's a lot going on with the Aegis line. We're going to get into that in a second, but let's start with the ATX line. This is the one that's going to be probably the closest to what you probably think of with Pelican. You've got that polymer resin armor, that substrate that they use for their cases. And if you think about it, like if you've ever used like an old Pelican to travel with, like throw your life in there, meaning your clothes and everything else you need, and maybe you throw in a camera here or there, kind of think of like that, but reimagined so that it can be more of a travel-friendly case, meaning there's now four-way wheels on here, so you can have it upright, you know, and just move through the airport or that airplane really easily, as opposed to it being on an angle and you pulling it with you. And it does feel like it's a Pelican from the outside. When you hit the latches, you can see that they kind of give you the ability to separate your life, you know, clothes, all the stuff you need to be a human being while you're out there on the road, and then your work stuff, or however else you want to put this together. But just know it's kind of more of a, actually, yeah, it's a travel-friendly Pelican case. So instead of just being like protecting that gear or that kit or that one thing that I need with the cubes and all that stuff, now you're basically just be able to throw what you need in here, close it up and ready to go. This does come in 3 sizes. This is the smallest. It's called the ATX 22, but it does go to a medium and a large size. And you can check out those down below in the links. But this is pretty much the closest you're gonna think of Pelican at. The Aegis line, whole nother story, but just know that this one also comes with a lifetime warranty, limited obviously. So there is some parts and stuff you can get for this, and you can self-service it yourself. You know, normally with Pelican cases, you look for that little metal reinforced hole to throw your lock into. Well, here on the ATX case, you actually get locks built into the latches, and you can set your own combination, obviously, but it does have the TSA key thing in there so that they can pop it open and give you a heart attack when they leave you a note saying that they did. We know how it is. On the inside, you'll see that there's layering to this case. So it is still crush-proof, waterproof, dust-proof, just like you think when you think Pelican. So if you do want to have that extra protection for a travel case, that's exactly what they did here, right? So it looks like they really thought about it from what they are, what they know, how you know them, but then giving you another option for a case style, depending on how you're going about things out there in the wild or in the field. And again, you can go check out the links down below for the sizes. Get the one that fits you if you're looking at something like this. But if you are someone that uses like an extra Pelican case just to travel with, you might want to take a look at this series. Again, links down below, but let's go jump into the Aegis series. You have your roller case, you have backpacks, and you have rolling duffels, which get pretty large, okay? This is where Pelican takes a bit of a turn from what we know them to be. Instead of being that hard shell polymer resin armor thing, which it still is, you have that polymer resin going on the bottom here, but up top, it's mixing it together with 500D Cadora. So that is a highly, really very strong material, but it's got a little bit of flex to it, right? So you're not gonna get that like super hardcore armor protection. It's got a little bit more give to it, a little more forgiving if you want to stash it into spaces and things like that. But this really is where it becomes more of more travel. Like, it's not going to be the waterproof that you get on the ATX, but you do get all this lighter weight, easier to carry around if you want, you know, not as hardcore. You know, how many times have you looked at something and go like, I don't need that? Then you want to get something that has more of a style to it, has more options to it. And that's kind of what I get from this. I haven't used this in the field myself, but just being around it, you kind of get the vibe of what they were going for here. And there's a lot of modularity going on with this. Yes, it does have a zipper and you've got the latches. When you open it up, you do have an open cavity here to kind of make it what you want, right? Which is what you expect with Pelicans in general. You've always made your Pelican the way you would use it. Well, here, since it's open, you can throw in your cubes or whatever you want to do, but there's also these loops all over the inside of it. You can look to the Aegis accessories that has all these snap straps that will then loop through anywhere you can, right? So make it how you want, wherever you want. It'll just give you those harnessing points if you want them, so you don't have anything moving around. Plus extra protective stuff that if you want to take it out of there, you've got like another case. So this stays in the hotel, this goes with you. Your $3,000 lens is really nice and secure, right? So it's kind of cool when you think of it like that. And this also pertains to the outside. If you want to take this and then take something else with you and strap to the outside, you have harness points for that. But where I see that really coming into play is more in the Aegis backpack line, where you can see all the extra loops you get here, which aren't like loose and annoying and like get in the way. They're nice and tight to the case itself, so they're there when you want them, but they're kind of not there when you don't want them. And with this lineup, it's a super light backpack, and as you can see, it's very slimline, really tight to your back, and comes in multiple sizes as well. Breathable back, so if you're out there like me, sweating like crazy, you don't got to worry too bad. You do have some breathability on your back, so it's not directly against yourself. This does come in multiple colors, again, multiple sizes. Check out the links below, like everything else. And you actually have this Velcro here, so you can get customized patches for it if you want, which is really cool if you're running a crew and you just want everyone to have their own case that's labeled for them or something like that, or just branding in general. Pretty cool to have that ability as well. And again, it feels like endless accessory options here, from zippable pouches to hard lens cases to pretty much, you know, a sling bag that if you want to put this inside, then you leave this wherever you are and you want to take something with you. Let's say you're going to a trade show and you want to take a backpack, but you got things you want to take this out of there and you've got that ability as well. So, and it all matches, which, you know, always a plus for you stylish people out there. And again, this is something that you can really make your own. They give you a lot of options. There's so many things that go along with it. And you kind of have to look at it and go, well, how do I work? How do I live? How do I travel? What works for me? As opposed to you just getting what comes out of the box and you go, I guess that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you have the ability to really make it your own if you want. So the accessories, and I mean the massive options of accessories for the travel line, have been as well thought out as the main packs themselves. So these things can be used solo. Yes, they can be anchored inside your case, outside your case, but you can also just take them on their own, like I've been saying. And this one, the mod pack, is pretty cool. It's the same Cordura as the rest of the Aegis line, but you can actually put a camera and lens in there to make it really quick access. And you can actually put 2 lenses in there on the sides if they fit. Obviously, if you have a 400mm 2.8, it's not going to fit in here. Use your head, check the specifications for the sizes. But it is a very cool idea to just have the main kit that you're going to be using if you travel minimally. If you're a filmmaker that just wants to take like small primes or something like that, you can go and do that and not worry about having a giant kit on you. Or if you do want to have an isolated kit, you can do that and put it on the outside or inside of the main case and get going. So the Aegis has this roller, has the backpack, but it also has, hang on guys, you're gonna, this, first of all, for what this is, this big rolling duffel, pretty light, right? And that's kind of what's going on here with the Aegis line, is that because it's not an armor plated, you know, waterproof, crush proof amazement, you do have the ability to just not have a heavy case if you don't want it. When you open this thing up, you have it on more of a massive scale, right? So everything that was basically going on with the roller goes on with the rolling duffel. So if if you want to just get a big case and not have it be a lot of weight, and you want that Pelican durability and the same system within the Aegis, you have it. But you also have this duffel pack, and I say duffel pack because it's basically a nice duffel bag that you can also make into a backpack if you want. And instead of it being just like a duffel bag where you have like, you know, a round basically sack, it's got a bit of structure to it. It's flat, nice and minimal, as opposed to having a bunch of straps and loops all over the outside. And you're able to make it what you want on the inside, opening from what's against your back. So it's good for security, and so no one can actually just get into your bag from a zipper on the outside. It's against your back. Anyone in New York knows what I'm talking about. But this is just another option out there, and you know, laptop sleeves and everything like that. So maybe if you're looking for something that's more on the go for daily use, this might be kind of the route you want to go through. So just more thought process happening, and I mean, they really just put out an entire line, and the Aegis just seems like there's something for every way you go about things, work or life-wise. All right, so as you can see, there's just so much going on here with the new travel series from Pelican, and this was just like a very quick overview entry point of what's going on here because there's just so much. Like I said, hit the links down below for the full specifications. I'm talking about, you know, actual measurements and data, what colors are available, what everything is in what size, but just know that this is an umbrella with different lines in it, from the ATX series to the Aegis series, which has even more options underneath that. And then once you pick the size you want from the case style you want, then you can go a step further, make it yours with the accessory packs, and maybe even mix and match and make things you didn't even think were possible, or change the way your workflow is or how you travel. If you guys have any questions for me with my experience with the stuff here today, do me a favor and hit a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it as always, and hit like. Don't forget to share this video around, hit subscribe and the bell so you get notified when we put out more videos like this. And I will see you next time. Later.